The halo effect. The halo effect is when we let our overall impression of someone influence how we see everything about them. For example, if we think someone is kind, we might also believe they are smart or capable, even if we don't have proof. This can cause us to make decisions based on our feelings rather than facts. Let's remember with a story. In the city of Metroville, there was a tech company that everyone admired for its innovative products. However, inside the company, the sales department was struggling. Sales were down and the team was feeling discouraged. Miss Harper, the CEO, knew they needed someone new to lead and inspire the team. One sunny morning, Alex Sterling arrived at the company as the new sales manager. From the moment he walked in, everyone was impressed. Alex was tall, dressed in a sharp suit, and had a smile that could light up a room. He was confident, spoke clearly, and seemed to know exactly what to say to make people feel at ease. Within days, the whole company was buzzing about Alex. People were sure he would turn things around. They believed he was not only charming, but also smart, talented, and the perfect person to lead the sales team to success. This positive impression made everyone overlook one important detail. Alex had never worked in sales before. The weeks went by, but sales didn't improve. In fact, they got worse. Yet many people still believed in Alex. They thought the poor results were due to bad luck or tough competition, anything but Alex's leadership. The CEO, Miss Harper, who had also been dazzled by Alex's charm, was hesitant to take action. She believed he just needed more time. But as time passed, it became clear that Alex's ideas weren't working. His charm had initially made everyone believe he could do no wrong, but the reality was different. Alex was great at making a good first impression, but he lacked the experience and skills needed to solve the company's problems. Finally, after a deep review of the situation, Miss Harper realized that the company had fallen into the trap of the halo effect. They had let their positive impression of Alex's charm and appearance influence their judgment about his abilities. The company learned a tough lesson. Charisma and confidence are important, but they don't always mean competence. From the story of Alex Sterling, we see how the halo effect can lead us to make decisions based on a good first impression rather than on facts and evidence. It's a reminder that while someone might seem perfect on the surface, it's important to look deeper and make sure they have the skills and experience to back it up. No, let's talk about the spotlight effect. This psychological phenomenon occurs because individuals are acutely aware of themselves and assume that others are just as focused on them. In reality, most people are more concerned with their own lives and pay less attention to others than one might think. Let's understand with an analogy. Imagine a young girl named Lily who is excited but nervous about her first day at a new school. She picks out her favorite outfit, a bright yellow dress she loves, and heads to school, feeling confident. However, as soon as she walks into the classroom, she accidentally spills a little juice on her dress during lunch. Lily immediately panics, thinking everyone must have seen that. They're all going to laugh at me or think I'm so clumsy. She spends the rest of the day trying to cover up the stain, convinced that all eyes are on her. But here's the reality. Her classmates were busy with their own lives. One kid was worried about a math test, another was thinking about their weekend plans, and another didn't even notice the spill because they were focused on their sandwich. If anyone did see it, they probably thought, "Oops, that happens," and moved on. In this story, Lily experienced the spotlight effect. She felt like a bright spotlight was shining on her and her little accident, making it seem like the center of everyone's attention. But just like in a theater, while one person might be in the spotlight, the rest of the audience is focused on the whole stage, not just that one small moment. The story teaches us that we often believe our mistakes and flaws are far more noticeable to others than they actually are. Just like Lily, we can remind ourselves that others aren't focusing on us as much as we think. No, let's talk about inability to close doors. This can manifest as an unwillingness to move on from a job, a project, or even a friendship that is no longer fulfilling or beneficial. The person may struggle with the fear of missing out, FOMO, the fear of making the wrong decision, or simply an attachment to what is familiar, even when it no longer serves them. Let's understand with an analogy. Imagine a young artist named Max who loves to paint. Max has a small studio filled with canvases, each one representing a different project he started but never finished. Some of these paintings are almost done, but Max keeps finding small details to tweak, never feeling satisfied enough to call them complete. Others are barely started, with just a few brushstrokes on the canvas. Max is constantly jumping from one painting to another, unable to decide which one to focus on, afraid that if he finishes one, he might miss out on making it perfect or starting a new, better project. One day, Max's friend Emma visits the studio. She notices how cluttered it is, with canvases leaning against every wall and paint supplies scattered everywhere. Emma asks Max why he hasn't finished any of his paintings. Max sighs and says, "I just can't seem to close any of these doors. What if I choose the wrong one to finish? What if I don't get it perfect? Or what if I start something new and it turns out better?" Emma smiles and says, "Max, your studio is so full of unfinished work that there's no room for anything new. You're so afraid of closing one door that you're keeping them all open, but that means you're stuck in the same place, unable to move forward. Sometimes you have to finish a painting, call it complete, and let it go. That way, you can clear space for fresh ideas and new opportunities." Max realizes that Emma is right. He's been holding on to the idea that he has to keep every door open, but in doing so, he's been unable to truly progress in his art. He decides to start finishing his paintings, accepting that they may not be perfect, but knowing that completion is a step toward growth. As Max starts to finish each painting, his studio begins to clear out, and new ideas flow in. He learns that by closing some doors, he opens others, leading to new and exciting creative possibilities. This story illustrates the concept of the inability to close doors by showing how holding on to too many unfinished projects can prevent someone from moving forward. By learning to close doors, Max frees himself to embrace new opportunities and continue his journey as an artist.